So bizarrely, even though I was really excited yesterday and I have been finding all of these good things about vlogging, I did struggle a little bit with actually sitting down and doing a vlog today. And I think it's interesting, and I ended up having to make my little deals with myself that, okay, I'll do 10 minutes of prep and then I'll sit down and do it. Of course, then I didn't do it and I had to do one of my procrastination list items, but now I'm sitting down, I'm doing it, and hopefully I'll get this all done in one take, which if you're seeing this, it means that I did, because I'm not going to say it again if I redo this video. It's just been such a... I saw one time this quote that my life never goes the way that I intend, and that's okay. And you know, particularly part of my faith, I understand that God has a larger plan, you know, that He's able to work it all together for good, and that's all right. But sometimes I'd like for things to go according to plan. But one of the things that happened today was I was cleaning out some boxes and such, trying to organize, make a little bit more room, and I found just some notes. I had been wanting to do this project that was about bad advice that I had received, and there was this one section that really got me thinking, and it was how much the advice, don't worry about what people think, they're so busy thinking about themselves, they won't think about you, they won't notice you, nobody's thinking about you. And I'll tell you, the reason that aggravated me so much is because it's not true. And yeah, it really isn't. Now, in my case, when I wrote that, I was dealing with what the doctors had ultimately diagnosed as severe eczema. And when I say severe, I mean incredibly severe. I had large bloody lesions that sometimes oozed pus and blood, and it was all over my body. It was miserable. It would pull off, the skin would pull off with the skin, and the skin would pull off on the bandages when I would remove them, or if it would stick to my clothes. You know, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. There are other people who had much, much worse. You know, it was only if it was seeping and stuff that it would do that, and it was just bloody. And I was okay because for a long while, it wasn't on my face. And I was able to hide a lot of it, which, you know, part of the reason I wear pashminas actually is I'm still, I'm used to covering up, and I'm trying to push myself on that because it's been a while since it's been that bad. Thankfully, you know, I have healed a lot. I deal with it primarily on my torso now. But there was a point when it reached my face and my neck, and it was all over this side of my face, and it looked terrible. And I will tell you, people looked, and they noticed, and quite a number of people had something to say, and it wasn't kind. Now, what was true is that most of them went on to live their lives, and they probably didn't think about it that much. And I realized that the advice that would be so much better, much more accurate, would be that even if people look, even if people watch, you need to do what you know you need to do, and you need to let them be. Because whether they're watching and whether they're commenting or not, it really doesn't matter. You need to do what you need to do. And I let so many things just really, really hold me back that I wish that I hadn't. And you know, good things came out of it. I'm a phenomenal lotion maker now, and you know, it's still challenging. And I sometimes have a hard time remembering I'm not that girl who had that, because for a time it was really, really, it was just such a huge part of my life. And now it's not there, and I'm so grateful it's not there, because, you know, when you talk about having a visible illness or an invisible illness, there's pros and cons to both, but when it's a skin disease, people recoil. Like, I mean, I suppose I really could have owned it. If you're really struggling out there right now with whether or not, what if people notice and what if they talk, don't take false comfort in nobody's going to notice and nobody is going to talk, because they probably will. And it's really, really hard, and it feels like such a slap in the face when they do, when they say harsh things, when when they're cruel. And so instead, if you can just brace yourself that regardless of what they say, if there's something you can learn from it, good. But if you are just putting yourself out there and you are doing the best you can and you are growing and learning, you do it anyway. You do it despite what they say. Not because they're not going to say anything, but because it will help you to grow and because it will make you a stronger person. So that's just something that I was thinking about today, and I really hope that it's encouraging to you. I know that sometimes that fear of what people can think, I know that it can control me so much more than what I want to admit, than what I want it to be. You know, even when I'm writing scenes, like I am stressing out so much over these chapters. They will probably be fine. I have the flow now. I feel so much stronger about them as a whole, but I'm still stressing about them, and a lot of it has to do with how are people going to receive this? What are they going to say? What if they find something that I did wrong? Well, they might find something I did wrong. Let's be frank here. I make a lot of mistakes, and most people do. But I guess it's just trying to do the best I can to learn with it and to not fuss and fidget with it so much that it never gets done. Because, sure, there will be some people who will find things that need to be improved on it, but then at the same time, if I just keep working on it and working on it, there is no perfect manuscript. I can get it up to a certain point, but then it has to be released. So for tonight, I am hoping to finish off another chapter or two. It would be really great. I lost a fair bit of my writing time. This was going to be a day dedicated to Wilderness Untamed and one legal project, and that legal project grew like an infected fungus that wanted to take over everything. And then we had some additional challenges which have thrown a wrench in some future plans. However, good is going to come out of it. So what's something that you've done despite what other people might say? Maybe you were afraid of looking foolish, or if you haven't, what's something that you wish that you could have done that you didn't do because of what people might say? I hope you have just a really beautiful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.